Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Cultist, here today with a special treat. I'm going to play through my own game, Sammy Seal, the Sky High Potato Murder. And I'm going to try to get all of the endings. I think I did a pretty nice job on this intro. ElDavisimo, he deserves a lot of credit for this game. He worked very hard on it. He outdid himself. Great job, very catchy.
Hello, folks. This is ElDavisimo reporting from the Daily Live. Today, the nation was shocked by the sudden but perhaps not so unexpected murder of Mr. Bodina. Who could have committed this astounding crime? The police are stumped, as usual. Evidence suggests a lone gunman being the culprit, but the authorities are unwilling to make any statements at this time. Things have gotten so out of hand, the infamous detective Sammy Seal has been called in to solve the case.
Lizard kinda sounds like that slug woman from Monsters, Inc.
Shame we have to leave on such short notice. I'm not very fond of the city. It plays havoc on my lungs. Are you listening to me, Sammy?
No?
This is no time to be stuffing your face with coconut crackers.
On the contrary, it's the best time. This case has stumped even the police, so I have to bolster myself with good food.
Looking at the list of suspects, I'd say it could have been anyone.
Maybe everyone did it. That would be a real twist.
I do wish you'd take these things more seriously. Sometimes I wish I was on a case with someone more dignified like Tomato.
What would I do without my assistant?
Now I just feel mean.
This whole scene was very complex to put together. It took me longer than I thought it would. But it was worth it.
Thank you, driver, and keep the change. So this is the scene. I can't wait to bust this place wide open.
Bodina seems to have enjoyed heights.
Potato in the sky.
My favorite line.
What?
Here is our stop.
What do you make of it, Sammy?
It is a body.
Very astute, Sammy.
Let's see what else we can find.
Question suspects to obtain evidence and use your magnifying glass to search for clues. When you are ready to accuse someone, talk to Wormy and select Parlor Reveal. You can send the innocent to jail, not just the guilty, so make sure you have all the facts before accusing a suspect. As if this fellow even cares. Now, first off, one of the easiest and quickest convictions you can get in this game is to
Hello,
simply
Sammy.
question
Anything I can do
Wormy.
to help out?
Interrogate.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Seriously, Sammy? Me? All right, ask away.
Simply ask him where he was.
So can you tell me where you were on the night of the murder?
Why on earth would you ask such a stupid question?
I see, so you have something to hide, eh?
Sammy, you know where I was. You were with me at the Hook Line Cafe.
Oh, really? What did I order?
Drat, I don't remember.
And right off the bat, you have a conviction. Easiest one in the game. There are powder burns here, but what made them? Try looking around. Maybe you'll find something. This is one of the first clues that you can find quite easily. This blood looks strange. Another easy clue. Now to solve the gunpowder mark, simply walk out of this trash can. There are bits of burnt paper in here. They may tie in to another clue elsewhere. Take the burnt paper and return to the powder burns. These bits of paper you found have a similar smell to the powder burn, or to this powder burn. Someone lit off a firework in here. There's actually multiple ways to get the real murderer, multiple clues to find, but I'm going to get all of them. Let's see. There's some footprints here that could be the killers. Someone went out this window to escape detection. Someone who is wearing a very specific type of shoe. This chair has a revolver under the cushion. Better not touch it until you find some fingerprint powder. Now to resolve the shoes, the quickest way is to simply head in here and check out these. These are a pair of Mr. Vinegroon's shoes. He won't miss them. Now with the shoes in hand, we merely head back to this site here. Mr. Vinegroon's shoes match these footprints exactly. Mr. Vinegroon might be the murderer. Go back and question him.
Hey, Sammy. Long time no see.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Nobody's stopping you. I'm clean.
I like how he has to say that he's clean every time a sentence ends.
I swiped a pair of your shoes, and they match the footprints I found near the crime scene.
Did you just admit to committing theft?
You can't wiggle out of this one.
So the punk wore shoes like mine. Big whoop. There's thousands of guys who wear shoes like mine. I'm clean. So long, Sammy. Watch out for the East River on your way out.
Now, if you want to solve the revolver in the chair, you'll need fingerprint powder, which can be found in this room with Madame Butterfly. This is the same stuff Madame Butterfly uses to powder her proboscis. Might want to swipe it just in case. It's not stealing when you are the law.
You stole my makeup. I probably shouldn't ask why.
Speaking of Madame Butterfly, we might as well get her conviction, since it's pretty easy to get.
Good afternoon. You must be that detective fellow. How can I help you?
Interrogate.
I'd like to ask you a few questions, ma'am.
I'd be happy to oblige. Have a seat and take a load off your feet.
It
Notice
rhymes.
that you aren't standing like a beached whale. What are your questions?
Know the victim.
Were you and Mr. Bodinia close?
Heavens no. We were merely socially parallel.
I see. So you were having an affair.
No, you crass plebeian. We were merely equals in station. The idea that you ever suspected I should be attracted to such an odious fellow makes my gorge rise.
So you disliked the victim. A motive.
Oh! You seem a bit dense for this kind of work.
Easy conviction already. I love the monumental conclusions that Sammy leaps to. It's part of what makes this game so enjoyable. It's a sweetness bar, which appears to be half-eaten. This might come in handy later. We'll get another easy conviction by waking up Swamp Whip. He's not very talkative.
Excuse me? You just scarfed down my candy bar. That is rude. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I see. So you're playing the silent game.
Another easy conviction unlocked. Oh yes, I forgot. The fingerprint powder. We'll take it to the chair. The powder reveals there are no fingerprints on this gun, which means the killer wore gloves. What does that sound like? Mr. Vinegaroon, of course.
Hello, Sammy. Anything I can do?
The body has moved. Did you see it?
Sorry, Sammy. My glasses need cleaning. I didn't see anything.
One of my favorite poses. That powder of Madame Butterfly's did the trick. You clearly see her deer hoof prints on the glass. Deer hoof prints on the glass. Alright, now let's see, who else can we get real quick while we're at it? Found a hidden key. That'll help us unlock the Dark Stranger option.
Whoa, you look suspicious.
I am the Dark Stranger.
Something funny?
I am excited to at last be free.
May I ask some questions?
Ask me anything. It will be my pleasure.
Let's see. Where were you? Know the victim.
Were you acquainted with Mr. Bodinia?
Alas, 'twas he who imprisoned me here. I cannot thank you enough for freeing me.
You are weird. I'd say you'd make a good patsy.
Excuse me.
Nothing personal, but you're an easy conviction waiting to happen.
You got that right. Already convicted. Now let's go over to Durkee. Another easy conviction. But first, let's swipe some of his paint. The hue of this red paint reminds you of blood. Durkee won't miss it.
How can I finish my masterpiece without red?
It was very difficult to record the voice lines for this particular character due to his extreme tendency to yell at the top of his lungs.
So what is that you are painting? Murder?
It is the austere Roman octopus. It was said that Emperor Nero used it to spank people to death for his entertainment.
Foreshadowing?
I I'm busy.
May I ask some questions?
No!
Nice try, but I'm afraid you'll have to.
I know my rights! You are interfering with art!
Where were you? Let's do know the victim.
So, no Mr. Bodinia?
I knew him. He appreciated me as the tortured master I am, until his money issues. Then, he lost interest.
Oh.
Don't bother me.
Dirk is one of my favorite characters. I don't want to give out any spoilers, but he figures prominently in the sequel. Let's talk to Mr.
May I
Venison.
help you?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
We at Venison and Sure Care are dedicated to moving forward with law enforcement cooperation.
I found some deer hoofprints on the glass near where Bodinia was murdered. Whoever shared that drink with Mr. Bodinia may have been the killer.
It is not our policy to imbibe wines or liquors. We value productivity, and coffee fits our memo for this crucial task.
Were you acquainted with Mr. Bodinia?
Venison and Sure Care provides coverage for many dynamic social influencers. Mr. Bodinia was a valued client. We were committed to giving him the very best in life insurance policies.
Who stands to inherit his insurance money?
The client's twin sibling, whom I have not had the pleasure of meeting in person.
Now, this twin sibling
Have a
thing
nice day.
is
We
actually
value your commitment to catching criminals.
it's actually very important to trigger that particular dialogue option. Okay, so next up, make a phone call. Bodinia's twin brother.
We're sorry, the number you are calling cannot be reached or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and call again.
Seems like the twin of Bodinia is hard to get a hold of.
That's very important. You can tell by the music change that we're close to solving the murder. Just in case you're interested in when, knowing when you're close.
Oh, Sammy, how nice to see you.
May I ask some questions?
Not at all. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Fire away.
I found some deer hoofprints on the glass near where Mr. Bodinia was murdered. Do you know anything about this?
Bye-bye, Sammy.
Clearly suspicious.
Oh, Sammy.
May I ask some questions?
Not at all. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Fire away. Bye-bye,
Oh, I
Sammy.
made a mistake.
Oh, Sammy.
I wanted a dialogue
May I
skip
ask
option in
some
this game, but I couldn't figure out how
Not
to
at
implement
all.
it.
I'd be happy to answer your questions. Fire away.
Know the victim? Where were you? Where were
So
you?
can you tell me where you were on the night of the murder?
I was at the office catching up on some paperwork.
Anyone see you at the office?
Consuelo saw me, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's all for now.
Fire away. Bye-bye, Sammy.
It's not specifically blatantly stated, but Sammy Seal has prior history with some of these characters. Consuelo at the office.
Hello? Consuelo?
Yes, who is this?
I'm Sammy Seal, and I'd like to ask you some questions.
Is this a gag or something? I haven't got time for.
I'm a detective working on a murder case.
Oh, okay. I'll see what I can do. Just hurry up. My lunch break is in 5 minutes.
Did Mrs. Venison show up at the office last night?
Not unless she was invisible. Didn't see hide nor hoof of her.
Thank you. You have really helped me out on the case.
Anytime, hon. Just not on my lunch break.
Now we can move in for the kill on Mr. Venison's conviction.
May I help you?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
We at Venison Insure Care are dedicated to moving forward with law enforcement cooperation.
Your wife is guilty.
I believe your wife may have murdered Mr. Bodinia. All the evidence points to her.
No! My wife is innocent. It was me. Take me instead.
Okay.
I don't know what came over me. Have a nice day. We value your commitment to catching criminals.
Now we have his conviction.
Oh, Sammy.
May I
Interrogate.
ask some questions?
Not at all. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Fire away.
Fingerprints.
I found some clear hoofprints on the glass near where Mr. Bodinia was murdered. Do you know anything about this? I called Consuelo. She didn't see you at the office.
Okay, so I lied. I had a drink with Mr. Bodinia last night. I just didn't want the mister to get the wrong idea.
I see. What was the right idea?
Well, the egghead ambushed me with some detail that needed reviewing in his policy. Then he talked my ears off with some weird philosophical nonsense until he had to leave to get something. Suddenly I heard a loud pop and ran in to find him dead on the floor.
You witnessed the murder?
Well, I heard it. The point is, I was too afraid to tell anyone because they would think I had done it.
Don't worry, I am discreet.
Oh, indeed. Sammy is discreet, if nothing else. Anyway, we have her conviction option. Trying to remember who else there is we haven't got. Oh yes, Loan Shark and Mr. Vinegroon. Now, Loan Shark himself and Mr. Vinegroon are the hardest people to get a conviction on in the entire game, despite the fact that they're not the real murderers. Spoilers.
Hey, Sammy. Long time no see.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Nobody's stopping you.
But you can get Loan Shark to come out in the open by simply grilling Mr. Vinegroon until he breaks. Now first you want to ask him about his gloves. I already asked him about the shoes, so we don't need to do that.
I see you like to wear gloves.
Yeah? So do gardeners. What's your point?
Maybe nothing.
I'm clean.
Next, ask him where he was.
So what were you up to on the night of the murder?
I was in a card game with the boss and some other guys. The boss can back me up on this.
You'd better hope your story checks out.
I'm clean. So long, Sammy. Watch out for the East River on your way out.
Now let's go check up on the boss's story.
Got anything for me?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
My business likes to cooperate with the law.
Where were you?
So can you tell me where you were on the night of the murder?
Me and the boys were playing cards at Bell's.
Will the boys swear you were with them last night? At Bell's?
Yeah, Vinny was there. He'll testify for me. At Bell's. So long, sucker.
Now that will open up this phone call option. Belle's place.
Yeah, this is Bells.
Is this Belle?
Who's that sound like, Jughead? I'm the janitor.
I am Detective Sammy Seal, and I would like to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, okay, Flatfoot, hit me.
I'm afraid I can't hit you through the phone.
Oh, a wise guy, huh? Ask your questions before I hang up.
Were the individuals Loan Shark and Mr. Vinagroom present at the card game last night?
Yeah, sure. Lone Shark was there. I don't recall seeing Vinny, though.
Thank you. You have really helped me out on the case.
Whatever, screw.
Alright. Now we can interrogate Vinagroom since his story doesn't add up. This whole game was greatly inspired by 70s cop and detective shows,
Hey, Sammy.
such
long
as
time
Columbo.
no see.
The title is actually a reference to a Columbo episode called the Bye Bye Sky High IQ Murder. If you ever wondered about why it sounds so strange, it's a real thing, practically. I mean, no potatoes or whatever, but...
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Nobody's stopping you. I'm clean.
I called up Bells, and the janitor says you were not at the card game.
What? That rummy wouldn't know his own face in the mirror.
You ready to come clean and tell me where you really were on the night of the murder?
I ain't got nothing to hide. I stand by my story. Me and the boss's word against some punk garbage man.
I see.
I'm clean. So long, Sammy. Watch out for the East River on your way out.
Now that we're getting sort of close to apprehending Mr. Vinagroom, he's getting a little bit squirmy. So if we just leave this room... he'll have a secret conference with Loan Shark. Interestingly enough, the only reason why these suspects are hard to convict is because they simply tell Sammy that he has no evidence. Plenty of other people, equally, he has no evidence on, but these people are the only ones that tell him he doesn't.
What's up? Something wrong?
We might have a problem. That seal's getting too close to our operation.
Now, if you want to get the conviction on these two characters, do not press the option Listen Longer. It's an alternate clue for the main murder, but this works better.
Too late, I heard everything. Everyone in this room is going to jail.
Now wait a minute, you haven't got anything on us.
Don't be too sure. I'll be seeing you in the parlor.
Always with the parlor. Can't you just arrest us right now?
The parlor.
Now there's that settled. We'll get convictions on both of them. Now what we do is study this blood. Just as you suspected, this blood is in fact red paint. Now the blood has thickened like cement. Murder solved. You uncovered enough clues to accuse the real killer. During the parlor reveal, you will see a special option highlighting the killer. Congratulations for solving the case. And I think that's just about everybody. Is it? Let me see, Mr. Vinagroom. Yes. And Durkee. That's everybody. Interesting fact about Sammy Seal, the character is partially inspired by a fictional character in a TV show called The Rockford Files. Just a little bit of trivia. If you're interested in seeing the inspiration for Sammy Seal, it comes from an episode called Black Mirror.
Hello, Sammy. Anything I can do to help out?
Parlor reveal.
Get all the suspects together. It's time I revealed who the murderer really is.
That was fast. Okay, I'll round them up.
Now, the first person I'm going to accuse is the real
I have called
murderer.
you all here to discuss my findings on the case. Someone sitting here in this very room is the murderer.
No, duh.
And I am going to expose that person here tonight by using evidence to piece together what happened on the night of the murder. So let's get down to business.
Sammy, shouldn't we clean up the body? Yeah,
must
you
be
should clean up
Don't
the
break
body.
my concentration.
You can even try
I
to...
didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You can accuse pretty much everyone, and we have evidence on everyone, but we're going to accuse Mr. Bodina. Now, you can only tell who the true culprit is if they have this green marker above them. After Mr. Bodina, we'll be filing through the other suspects.
I must admit, at first I was stumped, but after a while, the obvious became more obvious. You'll see before you the murderer.
It's a lie! Whatever.
You fake your own death.
Me? Prove it then.
Oh, I intend to. First, I will need the cooperation of everyone in this room. Close your eyes and imagine your mind is a toilet.
My other
We are
favorite
going
line in
back
the game.
time. Not so far back. We're skipping the War of 1812. Just back to the night of the murder.
Again, ElDavisimo did a great job of making the soundtrack fit
Mrs.
everything
Benson
that
told
was
me
happening.
Bodina tried to offer her a drink.
Pardon me, madame. Care for a drink?
Sorry, but I don't drink before bed.
Oh, I just remembered. I have a detail in my insurance policy that needs fixing.
Fine, I'll take a look at it.
This was all a part of Bodina's plan. He needed a witness.
We are all creatures of habit, after all. Strangers in the night exchanging glances.
It's a reference to a Sinatra
Wouldn't you
song.
agree that we are images of light projected by a madman? Hold that thought. I have to get something.
Now the stage is set for the murder. Sinagaroon makes his entrance.
Vinny's here.
He had already prepared the dummy gunshot in advance. Pow! Fake but convincing gunshot. He then used the red paint he stole from Derby.
Oh no! Venison and Surecare will have to pay for this!
I'll just let myself out.
Pretty funny game, all things considered.
And that is the way it really happened.
What was the motive for Bodina faking his own death?
I can think of a few reasons. Maybe to hide his ugly face from the public.
He did it for the insurance money, and to escape his debts with Loan Shark.
Yeah, you still owe me, Eggman.
Cuff him, Wormy.
How is he going? Oh, I see.
All trussed up and ready for the big house, Sammy.
Another case closed.
Yeah, get over yourself.
The music is magnifique. Now I'm going to watch the credits in their entirety before showing you all the alternate endings. They're not very long, so don't worry, just stick around. You can easily accuse the other suspects by simply pressing View Dream and going into you know, the dreams and selecting the one where you accuse everybody. Which is what I'm going to do. We might cut some of that out just for, you know, time's sake, and it's not very interesting. See, even Marty had a part in this game. Big thanks to ElDavisimo. If it weren't for him, this game wouldn't have worked.
I have called you all here to discuss my findings on the case. Someone sitting here in this very room is the murderer.
No, duh.
And I am going to expose that person here tonight by using evidence to piece together what happened on the night of the murder. So let's get down to business.
Sammy, shouldn't we clean up the body?
It must be disturbing.
Don't break my concentration.
As you can see, we can accuse all the other suspects. I might skip the accusing for all the other ones, just because it's a little bit, you know, having to sit through that cutscene, but I think I'll start with my least favorite to favorite endings.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. That guy right there. Stop him! Let me explain how this unassuming cabbie killed Mr. Bodinia.
Is Sammy the real villain?
It all began with Bodinia ordering a pizza.
A pizza.
No, I want a pizza with prune toppings and wasabi stuffed crust. Oh, okay.
This part is pretty
I
interesting.
wonder what he meant by that. How long have you been there? What do you want? Oh, maybe it was about that $50,000 on my taxi tab. Couldn't they send someone less poor? Why don't you say anything? I'm not used to people who don't socialize with me. No! I'll kill you!
Swamp's feet are a lethal weapon.
Needless to say, the cabbie didn't have time to scrub away all of the blood, so there was still some left when the police arrived. Even though the cabbie committed a terrible crime, I feel he might have been justified. That pizza was a travesty. Oh!
The cycle of violence in our society is a growing problem. Video games in particular are a concern, as more and more we are seeing these images of terror projected from our televisions into our household. Children, especially young boys, are most affected. Therefore, we should take proper precautions to neutralize these violent tendencies, lest they eventually cause the collapse of our way of life.
My least favorite ending.
Only through the elimination of violence can we achieve world peace.
It's okay, but just something kind of weaker about it in general.
By the way, Sammy is okay. He had a parachute.
It wouldn't do him much good.
You're still here?
Now we'll go ahead and do Mrs. Venison next.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. Mrs. Venison.
How dare you accuse my wife of a crime she did not commit? You had better bring some proof to the table.
I am about to reconstruct the happenings that night. So, on the night of the murder, Mrs. Venison told me Bodinia tried to offer her a drink.
This is pretty good.
You are the crystallization of beauty.
I had a lot of fun with this
Join
part.
me for a cool, relaxing glass of wine.
She readily agreed.
Who wouldn't?
A toast to the future. This is grape juice, kids. Oh, I must confess.
Oh, what is it that you are guilty of?
The crime of love. I am in love with you.
Let her fly!
Excuse me, the phone is ringing.
That walk.
You promised to take me to the escargot.
Not now, my love. Someone else is here. Oh, it is you. Let us talk of love.
That was perfect.
Why did you make me do it, my love? I shall forever remember your eggy eyes.
Eggy
And
eyes.
that is how it happened. She killed the thing she loved.
Now that one's pretty good. I like that one.
It pains me to do this to an old acquaintance like Mrs. Venison, but justice must be served.
What the heck?
No, honey, no!
You can go to the hospital. It's an alternate ending.
Hello, Sammy. Just thought I'd drop in for a visit. You're looking pretty good.
Thanks, Wormy.
It seems those charges you brought against Mrs. Venison didn't stick. The judge said it all made sense, but he couldn't believe she did it.
What about Mr. Venison?
Due to a host of charges, 800 years in prison.
Case closed?
Justice served. Now we're going to go ahead and do the alternate take.
It pains me to do this to an old acquaintance like Mrs. Venison.
If you dodge
but
Mr.
justice must be
Venison, you'll get a different ending.
No, honey, no!
She goes to jail.
She goes to jail. Perfect. Now let's do Mr. Venison.
I knew from the very beginning.
I like
there could
his
be
quite a
only
bit.
one
Has a lot of
plausible
noir
culprit for the
references.
crime. Mr.
It's me, I confess. It was I who terminated Mr. Bodinia.
Honey!
I shall explain how it happened.
But I'm supposed to do the reconstructing of the happenings.
No, I can't run from my technical mishaps anymore. It is against our company slogan. Build the future of tomorrow now this day, working with key efficiency for truthful progress and diverse changing outcomes.
I had difficulty with that line.
Well now,
It is midnight, and my big fat butt is in its big fat seat.
The other best line of the
Time
game.
to become the voice of crime. Who's there?
I just blew in off the street.
If it isn't the boringly honest Mr. Venison, I don't suppose you've come to offer me one of those dependable but unimaginative policies of yours.
No. I've come to tell you you're rotten, see? And me and the dame are crashing out of this joint.
How predictably trite of you. You disappoint me. I had hoped we could do business.
I don't work with guys who cheat on their income taxes.
This nation was founded by men who resented taxation.
That's un-American.
Your
He has a
threats of violence
point.
affect me very little because I have a tiny gun.
That is how the events transpired.
I'm sure
All
that's
the
how they
guys, all
transpired.
the juice joints.
Skip it.
Not really sure what he was going to say there.
My husband deserves a medal.
Yeah, everyone hates tax dodgers. What?
What's income tax?
Allow me to explain. The U.S. federal government imposed the first federal income tax on August 5th, 1861, the purpose of which was to help fund the American Civil War. It was only in 1894 that the first peacetime income tax was passed through the Wilson-Gorman tariff. Of course, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional under the 10th Amendment, forbidding any powers not expressed in the U.S. Constitution, and there being no power to impose any other
Wormy.
than a direct tax by appointment.
Wormy. Cuff him?
Oh yes, sorry, Sammy.
This is a pretty good ending.
It is a far, far better thing I do now than I have ever done.
War and Peace?
It's a quote from Anne of Green Gables, you dunce.
Tale of Two Cities. Next, we'll do Madam Butterfly. She's a pretty good ending.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. Madame Butterfly.
Great music
I wasn't expecting her to take it so
Excellent.
hard.
at that point.
So, anyone want to hear how it really happened?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Unbeknownst to everyone, Madame Butterfly and Mr. Bodinia were having an affair.
This is
But
one of
he
my
broke
very
off the
personal
relationship.
favorites for this
Why have
part.
you come here? I told you our relationship is concluded. We have nothing to discuss. So if you don't mind.
I won't let you get away with this. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
No, wait! Don't do anything you'll regret later.
I regret nothing, you ruby-headed fink.
Best insult.
That should teach you to trifle with a lady's affections, you greasy fat slob.
That is how it happened. Shock, love nest, shame, murder. At least I think it happened that way.
Sammy can never be sure of anything.
That accusation is absolutely ludicrous.
Nope. You go to jail.
I want my lawyer.
Case closed.
Lawyer! I want my lawyer!
I always wanted the alternate endings to have a bit of a, failure to them, where it's like Sammy convicts somebody, but it's not really the best result for him to make them negative, whereas the real ending is
From
positive.
the very beginning, there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. My assistant, Wormy.
What? This time you've gone too far, Sammy. I'm not putting up with this sham any longer.
Don't you want to stick around and see how you kill Bodinia?
I'm not interested in hearing the fanciful ramblings of a blubber-rich narcissist with the intellectual development of a tube worm.
Wait, Wormy. He took that a bit personal.
So, tell us how the worm did it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that one.
Okay, but it won't be much of a finale. Wormy took the handcuffs.
Couldn't put handcuffs on
That
worms.
night, Wormy
Anyway.
and I were at the Hook Line Cafe. Or so I thought. Wormy had given me the slip. He traveled all the way to Bodinia's apartment.
Oh, do I get a speaking part? I'm not sure. I could do my own stunts. An orangutan? He could give me advice? Sorry, thought I heard something. Ooh, mosquito bite.
The alkaloid isn't strong enough. We've got to load this sucker up. Just like the sign of fall, Sammy would love this case. I had better add some red paint to throw people off.
Why did you do it, Wormy?
Why?
Why? Now you must go to jail.
No, I am not.
Wormy? You're back to go to jail.
No, actually. You see, I called the cops. I told them you did it. Just kidding. Let's drop this case.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one. I'd rate that one high. Now let's do maybe Mr. Vinegroon or Durkee. I think we'll do Durkee. Where is Durkee? That's the face of an accused
I
suspect.
knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. Durkee. So this is how he murdered Mr. Bodinia. Having Bodinia as a patron was a dream come true for Durkee. Until the money ran out.
This is one of the better
sorry,
ones.
Durkee, I just can't pay you right now. I've got a lot on my mind these days.
But I must have money. I need to eat.
Artists eat? I thought artists made art for free.
You don't understand.
Common misconception.
You are my next masterpiece.
No, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
You really should thank me. I am going to make you immortal. I shall make you a god.
Excellent lines.
Why does it stink?
And that is what happened.
Yeah, that checks out.
Definitely, Durkee did it.
The wheels of justice turn very slowly, but when they turn, they turn.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh, this is Shubi's ultimate war. Watch out, Sammy!
We'll see if we can beat this.
Keep at it, Sammy! Sammy! Hit it when he's about to do a punch! Get him, Sammy!
We got him.
Justice triumphs.
Hello, Mr. Durkee. Shall we discuss your...
My problem.
You consider it a problem?
Nope.
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 No.
Get on with it.
I intend to.
Then do it.
I will.
Another excellent ending.
How about we do some disassociation? Go back to when these violent tendencies started.
It began when I murdered my girlfriend.
Are you okay?
Some other time, sucker! Once more, I have breached the wall of time. Shall I ever stop, or shall I go on until the end of time itself? The last bird on Earth. Oh, this is stupid.
This makes a lot more sense if you know Durkee's history. And even then, it's still kind of strange. There's an alternate ending where you go to the hospital. You get killed by Durkee. In the fight, that is.
Hello, Sammy. Just thought I'd drop in for a visit. You look worse than I expected. All this for a knife wound?
This happened at the hospital.
How?
They tried to take me through the revolving door.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sammy. The worst part of it is that bird got off on a plea of insanity. He's living it up at that Happy Arms insane asylum. I hear they even have jacuzzis there.
Case closed.
For some reason, when the bird violently assaults someone, he actually gets off better in the asylum. He goes to a nice asylum as opposed to a not nice asylum. Let's do Mr. Vinegrew.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime.
Please don't pick me, please don't pick me, please don't pick me.
Mr. Vinegrew.
Don't worry, bruv, I'll back you up.
I shall now explain how and why Mr. Vinegrew killed Bodini. On the night of the murder, Lone Shark said he was playing cards at Bell's.
Okay, boys, let's get down to business.
Where's Vinny?
Oh, he's out doing a job. Keep it to yourself, got me?
The alibi had been prepared. Now the stage is set for the murder. Vinegrew makes his entrance. Vinny's here.
Oh, drat, did I throw my wallet in the trash again?
This has happened to me many times.
Oh? How did you get in here?
Lone Shark sends his regards.
Oh no! Oh!
I sure settled his hash. Oh, wait a minute. How did he get the trash can off? Also, the body was over... What the heck? This doesn't add up.
That is most definitely how it happened.
Oh, this is so dumb.
Hopefully I'll be able to defeat this
I
fellow.
have waited a long time for this. The day when I take you down.
Time to die, Seal Boy.
Watch out, he has a weapon.
Oh, wait a second.
I'm gonna fill you full of so many holes you look like a Swiss cheese.
Follow the buttons.
I'll fill you full of holes. Those mags in. Time to be the bridesmaid at a fish marriage. Come on, reload.
Alright, this is the best place to hide.
Those mags in. Time to be the bridesmaid at a fish marriage. More bullets, come on. I'll fill you full of holes. More bullets, come on. Time to be the bridesmaid at a fish marriage. Come on, reload.
Justice triumphs.
One of the tougher combat sections. If you get caught out in those bullets, you can really get, you know, drained quickly.
Well, Wormy, I guess it's case closed.
Yes?
I still feel like something's missing.
Honestly, Sammy, I wouldn't bother my head about that. Nothing in your career adds up completely. A known assassin is in jail, and we've got spaghetti to eat. Hey, can I get a photograph?
Sure.
Say cheese. Thanks.
Wormy? I can't see anything.
I can't see anything either.
Now, if you die on any of these Lone Shark or other endings, you get this.
Now my name is carved in stone. The ground is my eternal home.
Alas, poor Sammy. I hardly knew ye. Actually, I knew ye quite well. Well enough to know that epitaph is very fitting. Rest in peace, old friend.
Now we'll do Lone Shark's ending. Interesting picture.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. Lone Shark. Where is he?
Now I've got you. Now this may look a certain way, but it's a mafia thing, okay? It's gonna be you and me, Shark versus Seal.
But I haven't told them how you did it.
Oh, I can handle that.
Lone Shark is the only other suspect that tells his own story besides Mr.
Let
Venison.
me tell you what I did. I walked up to him.
Oh, hello, how are you?
Then I grabbed him, and slapped him, and crunched him, and smashed him.
It was great doing this part.
And I'm going to do the same thing with you. Let's find somewhere private, then I'll smash you. Nice and secluded. Let's have a go. Smash you. Oh, howdy. Smash. Smash.
I happen to know a little bit of an exploit. If you just get him to ram into this wall.
Justice triumphs.
This ending is a variation of the Vinnick Rune one, only with slightly different dialogue.
I guess it's case closed.
Yes?
I still feel like something's missing.
Honestly, Sammy, I wouldn't bother my head about that. Nothing in your career adds up completely. Loan Shark is behind bars, and we've got spaghetti to eat. Hey, can I get a photograph?
Sure.
Say cheese. Thanks.
Wormy? I can't see anything.
I can't see anything either.
Now this is probably the final and my favorite ending. The Dark Stranger ending. Took a lot of work, but it was worth it.
I knew from the very beginning there could be only one plausible culprit for the crime. The Dark Stranger.
Who's that? Oh, there he is.
I shall now reconstruct the happenings on the night of the murder.
Disgusting.
Fantastic. Soon I'll have enough dark matter to make a fortune.
Then I may leave the closet.
Well, let's not get hasty, Dark Man. You can't go out just.
Listen, Bodinia, if you keep stalling, I'll suck out your soul through your ear.
Now, before you do anything drastic, you should know something. I am a sovereign citizen, and I...
Daddy warned me I had a bad temper.
And that is what happened. What was that?
Guess someone turned out the lights.
One does not simply challenge the Dark Stranger and live. You are coming with me.
I think I found the fuse box.
Mansion, courtesy of Billy.
What?
Now you will burn. Soon I shall partake of your broth.
I find it's better to do a lot of leaping when you're high, and then when you're low, just settle a bit. Tends to make you get dunked less. There we go. We might actually make it. This whole sequence is very technically difficult for me to execute. Making the rope look like it's a rope was very difficult. We made it.
So you managed to escape. Come find me in my lair, if you dare.
Now, if you die by falling, this is what you'll get.
Really? You died to the green stuff?
Let's go back.
So you managed to escape. Come find me in my lair, if you dare.
Oh, crap.
There is no escape. You will drown in darkness.
No? You're the one who is, gonna die.
Now, there's a very simple exploit to this. You want to be outside the circle of strangers, because it's more likely that when they group up in the center, you'll hit the real one. Gotta watch out.
What a stupid head. Well, Wormy?
And again, this is a variation of the Vinegroon Lone Shark ending.
Yes?
I still feel like something's missing.
Honestly, Sammy, I wouldn't bother my head about that. Nothing in your career adds up completely. The Dark Stranger is no more, and we've got spaghetti to eat. Hey, can I get a photograph?
Sure.
Say cheese. Thanks.
Because only the true ending is canon, the Dark Stranger is actually still alive.
I can't see anything either.
Well, that's every ending in the game, and all clues to get the real ending, plus every other. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. If you enjoy our content here at EDC, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the sequel, Sammy Seal and the Fall Guy of Rome, which is in production. It's going to take a while. In the meantime, though, goodbye.